everything else. Let's see, Eddie, you're a guy, so tell us.
Do I look at the camera? Do I look at you?
Look at Ryan. Look at Ryan.
Just ignore.
Yeah.
Ignore the camera.
It's much better to look at Ryan.
Okay.
We're rolling right now, so.
Oh, okay. So I feel like this is a really good opportunity for undergraduates like us, just to have hands-on experience, and I feel like we learn a lot faster when it's like right in front of us than in a textbook with just writing everywhere. And working with like friends and stuff is really good. I didn't know that stuff like this is anywhere. Yeah, and then Berkeley Biolabs just gave us the opportunity to do this kind of stuff that usually other colleges won't let us do.
So let's be specific. Like, what kind of stuff? What's really different, like compared to what you do in class?
In class, we just do here's a lab manual, read it, and then do the performance. And usually it's not something where there's an outcome, just oh, now you're supposed to learn this. And in my personal experience, I try to apply to lab jobs, and these lab jobs are just washing the glassware, or even just doing a lot of Excel work. But and I got rejected by all of them. So I'm glad that this is they let me in Berkeley Biolabs because it's a lot better, and I learned a lot, and I feel like it's better than just regular classes.
Brian, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I agree with Rebecca. Definitely the hands-on experience really helps. You're actually doing experiments for results instead of just a grade or just whatever outcome that they want you to have and whatnot. And so you definitely, and you learn how to apply these when you have to you have to know more details about what you're doing. You have to know exactly what you're doing specifically. You can't just rely on other people you can in maybe labs that you're working with with other students and whatnot. You can just watch what they're doing, and what you're here though you have to know exactly what you're doing and what you're trying to get to and what results you're looking for. And so I really think that this helps a lot with that.
So from my experience, again going off of what Ryan and Rebecca said, labs in your classroom setting, it doesn't, I guess, let you learn as much as you could in an actual lab setting, because you already know the outcome and you know what's going to happen or what should happen. And so if something went wrong, then it would be your fault, I guess, if it didn't go through. But in Berkeley Biolabs, you don't know if it's going to come out right, or you don't know what's going to happen. So then you have to troubleshoot in order to, move on and whatnot. And so that's what I learned a lot.
So you're learning as you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I agree with what these guys have said. It's really nice being able to go off of what you've learned in class and to see how's this stuff actually useful at all. I've learned a lot of coding. I've done a lot of projects in class, but I've never actually had to apply it for something useful. It's not a matter of difficulty or anything else. It's whoa, I made something cool, and it could actually be expanded upon in the future to do something cool.
Can you tell us what your script does? What your project was this summer?
Sure.
Technical terms.
So one of the scripts that I made was to look at protein or amino acid sequences and RNA sequences, and to try to find relations between separate species, several different species, to see what would be an ideal consensus sequence to make. And the method that right now, the strategy that we're using is the relative rarity of the codons in species. So if it's rare in E. coli or rare in say yeast, you can't use it in your final consensus sequence because you can just rule that out. And we had a strategy going in of the hierarchy of which sequence would be better to use. And going off that strategy, we made a script, and that's what it does. So you can use several different strategies. There's a strategy sort of module in there, and you can expand it to include large sequences.
And what could you do with that if you expanded on the script? What useful things could you do with it?
You can derive a consensus sequence using several different strategies for multiple species.
Okay.
And what would be the outcome? Like what utility would that have in the real world?
So the goal of our project was to create protein that would be able to express in multiple species in just one sequence.
Cool.
So it's directly, I don't know, taking steps to get to that point of finding that ideal sequence.
That's a wrap, Eddie.